This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Coming out. Welcome to Chicago, coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z, featuring this week. It is no Sweat Serg. Maybe Stevie-B will make it. I don't know. Maybe he has bathroom issues again with his Taco Bell consumption, but hopefully he comes through. Episode 195 is brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for TCF when you're looking in the keywords, right? To Chicago or TCF, and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official shirts now. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, hit that subscribe button, hit your the 5 stars, give us a review. All that will help us boost up on the charts. Thank you very much to all our listeners who have been supporting since day one. We love you. And, remember, you can also support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/true Chicago sports fans. Go over there and click on the support button, and you can subscribe for a little 99 cents. We have not inflated our prices. All right, everybody's on inflation. We are not inflating our prices. 99 cents a month. That's $12 a year. Come on. Give your boys a little bit of change, little coin to put in our little pocket so we can make our show better. Serg, how's your week? How's your week, bro?
My weekend was superb. It first started off with Avalanche losing, and then hold on, and you're a witness. Who did I say was going to win for yesterday's Minnesota and Denver game?
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. We've got it on recording. I think a couple hours or an hour before the game. Yeah, so the only thing I kind of screwed up because Ant didn't do what he was supposed to do. But that is fair because you know what? In all honesty, it's a team sport, and everybody stepped up and did what they were supposed to do for the Wolves. So I'm very happy. I'm tired of watching Jokic go from one basket to the other. I am tired. I mean, how is that fool going from one side? He has no business bringing that ball up. None. He should be robbed every damn time.
Yeah, that big boy should not be dribbling the court, bringing out the ball up the court. There's no reason. You have two great point guard in Chicago that can dribble very, very well. He's getting trapped at the half court line at the top of the key, and it's just like once the ball's out of his hands, and he does like, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna stand at the 3-point line. You went 0 for 7, 0 for 8 in the first half, maybe into the third quarter. He really struggled yesterday, and it just showed that individualism does not work when it comes to the NBA playoffs and the later stages as well. So, congratulations to the Minnesota Wolves. I think it was 21 years to the day or something, like 20 years to the day that they actually. The Garnett team that they got to the Western Conference Finals. So good luck to them. They're going to be facing Dallas, and that's going to be a tough matchup. I think it'll be good games. I hope it goes 7 too.
Yeah, I just love the series. I'm not going to lie. I do feel bad for my nephew Randy, and he is a true fan. And I told you we're going to discuss this. Chicago fans, the 108-year misery with the Cubs, and they still sell out regardless. We're in the bleachers. We might not be watching the game. We might be bullshitting and drinking, but, we attend. We buy the merchandise. We do our thing, even when they're losing 100 games a season. Now, the Bulls, which have not had a great season since, let's be honest, since Derrick Rose or late Jimmy Butler, right? When they had that decent season with Rondo and so forth, and they had that run. And we're gonna go back to that too, because JC said we haven't had a true point guard since Derrick Rose, but we all forgot about Rondo. And I know he's got some legal issues with the guns and whatever.
Oh boy,
that man was a beast on the court. We're gonna leave that alone. But my thing is you want to talk about loyalty, and Steven and his Taco Bell, he's loyal to that, right? He's loyal to the Hendrix. He's loyal to shitty things. But let's talk about the fans out here which I said bandwagon, but you said something better, which was
they're fair weather fans out there, and there's
fans.
a lot of cities that are very much like that. Unless they're good teams, they're in the playoffs. They're not doing that. Yeah, they're not attending their games.
My nephew and my niece, they are loyal fans. They're exempt from what I'm talking about. But all these other fans out here are freaking caca. They're straight trash. They only attend the games when they're winning, but when they're down and out, who's supporting these teams? Because the Chicago Bulls have been probably
top 3 in attendance for the last 30,
in attendance.
40 years.
This is insane, and this is going to lead us right into the fever, right? The fever of Caitlin Clark and bringing in generating that money for the WNBA, and all these other teams are crying about it now. And I don't know if you heard the reference or what was said during the weekend, where these players are now crying about her generating revenue. But why did she get at the charter or whatever? And we got
she flew a charter. I think is from or to New York, and then the New York Liberty were on the bus or something like that. You know what? It's obviously superstars are going to give superstar treatment, and right now she is the superstar of the WNBA. She's the hottest thing in the NBA. Yes, the Aces won the championship. Can you name one of the Aces on there that's not Candace Parker? I knew they were going to say that. Yeah.
Girl, man. Hey, man, I've been watching her since she played in damn college. You can stop playing.
Since high school.
I've been watching her. But Breanna Stewart is the one that called out the WNBA after Caitlin Clark got chartered flight while Liberty traveled by bus. Oh, like they sold out a whole thing. And this is all they talked about, during that game, because I watched it on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
the triple header, yeah.
Yeah, all they talked about was we got $2 million today. And I know the NBA, they're looking at $2 million. That's it.
They made that in parking.
But when you start looking at it, the other teams, I started watching the other games. I think Phoenix with Diana Taurasi and some other games. I noticed in the background there wasn't a lot of fans in those stadiums. They're coming to see her.
Yes,
they're coming to see.
She is the attraction, just like when Kobe was playing and the Bulls sucked. We went to go see Kobe. When LeBron came to town and we played the Bulls, we came to see LeBron. You have a crappy team, you're going to see the other team's superstar that comes in. Right now, she's tearing it up, right? She's had a couple bad games. She's gotten hit really hard. Welcome to the WNBA. And I'm all for it. Hey, you got to pay your dues,
she's scoring.
But she's scoring.
She's scoring. She's doing what she's supposed to do.
Exactly. She's not scoring like she did in college, obviously, because now you have nothing but top tier talent. So it's a lot different. You're gonna get hit. You're not gonna get the open looks that she did before. Scoring.
She had 20 points. She's just her turnovers are really bad right now, but she'll clean that up. But my thing is that loyalty. You want to talk about loyalty and the fans out here, but just think about all these other teams that don't have any loyalty either. But when you go to Chicago, those teams are loyal. Yep. I mean, they got loyal fans. They got loyal followers. Man, I go to the damn Suckies game. I mean, Rockies, whatever. And I sit in there, and it's blue from all the players that are sitting there watching the Cubs play. I mean, we might have taken a slap when you garbage pitched, but I'm talking about it's always.
We all lost money this weekend, okay, Meche?
Meche, you lost some money, Bendito.
We all lose money. We all lose money.
I called Minnesota.
Some.
I called it. I'm not gonna lie though. I know Sweat Serg was sweating when it was down by 20, and I was gonna cry. I was gonna cry.
I think she was betting on WNBA, but I mean, I haven't started going down that dark path yet, but I eventually will. Because
you make pennies on the dollar on that shit.
Hey man, I got to build up
$5 bet to win 30 cents.
Oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in this live episode, the Chicago Bears, the schedule is out. How many wins will the Bears end up with? So me, Serge, and maybe a potential special guest maybe arriving. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep that in for the second segment. Chicago baseball, the White Sox get yanked in the Bronx, and after winning 2 series, and then now we have drama between one of the new announcers, John Schrifen, and a local radio station. There's beef going on. We'll talk about that. The Cubs dropped 2 series, playing shorthanded. They have IL issues. People are dropping like flies over there, like cicadas. How will they bounce back? I know they come back and they're going to be playing Atlanta, but let's see what they do against that. We got Chicago baseball. We got Lonzo shooting a video and talking about it on a podcast. He's 70%, but will he be ready for the upcoming season? I'm not holding my breath. And there's a couple more things on the Bulls docket. The Chicago Sky split their series against Dallas, the Wings, and we got stirring the pot at the end. So Serge, start thinking about your stirring the pot. All right. So without being said, let's start with our 3 up and 3 down segment, our baseball segment.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
All right, Serge. I don't know. I doubt you're watching so much White Sox baseball. And who is watching White Sox baseball? Because it's a terrible product on the field.
Hold on. But you guys were winning some games there.
We did. We did. We did.
I'll shit on them for a second. I'll piss on them, but I ain't gonna shit on them right now.
Apparently that costs extra, sir. That's a Trump joke. Well, the White Sox, they won the series against the Guardians, and then the Nationals. Yeah, the Nationals and the Guardians. So they're doing a little bit better, especially in the month of May. They've been turning around. We got Tommy Pham, and then we got DeJong playing a little bit better. Obviously, Crochet's pitching lights out. But you're running into the hottest team in the MLB, which is the New York Yankees. They are literally a hot team right now. You do not want to be facing them. And then these guys are just hitting, it was like T-ball practice, hitting home runs off the White Sox pitching, which isn't great. So they've been getting taxed, and they lost today to the Blue Jays. The White Sox lost 3-9. I was home today and I watched that game. It was pretty bad. The Blue Jays are, they're scuffling as well. So that's the problem. Is like you should be able to take advantage of these teams that are also scuffling, but I just don't think we have the talent to compete with them. After this, the White Sox have the Orioles, another good team. Then they come home. They go home against the Orioles and home against the Blue Jays. And then they got the Brewers and the Cubs. So there's not a lot of wins to be had in the next couple of weeks for the White Sox. We still have, Eloy wants to play right field, wants to play the field. He doesn't want to be straight DH. He said it's affecting his batting. Boo, dude. You're getting paid $1 million to hit the ball. And we'll put you in there one game out of the series. That's fine with me. You should not be playing out there until you can prove that you can catch the ball and you can read a line drive and that you can actually throw to the cutoff man. Simple, basic things that you're not doing. And then we got Luis Robert. He should be coming up within the next week from injury. Thank goodness we need our big bopper back. But right now, they're actually hitting the ball. We're just getting outscored because our pitching isn't there.
Making a little contact. Feeling like you at the club now, make a little contact. We get some numbers, and they're like, no numbers for you because you ain't gonna get no points with me. We're making a little contact though. All right. So with all that being said, the Cubs are going to get to play Atlanta again.
Damn, you just skipped my old White Sox thing. You're not going to rebuttal my White Sox stuff.
We done with your White Sox.
No,
we already know. We know where they're going.
I want you to hear this because you're not listening to Chicago radio, right?
All right.
You're not. Are you listening to Chicago radio on an app or whatever?
To you, all my news come from you.
I appreciate that. Hopefully, everybody else is listening to me for Chicago news, Chicago sports news. No, I was listening to apparently on 670 The Score. They were dogging John Schrifen, the new announcer, for getting super excited on simple plays or a win that doesn't mean anything, and they're dogging him.
Why?
So on this weekend, he had Gordon Beckham. He didn't have Steve Stone with him this weekend. And Gordon Beckham messed up a read. They gave you a commercial to read, and he messed it up. So here's the audio.
Hey, it's my first game. You're good. Don't worry about it. All good. If any of those radio losers clip it and try to make fun of you, nobody cares about them anymore.
You know what?
So essentially, he's calling out the radio station, calling them losers, and then no one cares about them. This man has been asked to come on to other radio stations like ESPN The Score, ESPN 1000, and you got The Score. He's been asked multiple times, will you come on the show and we'll interview you. We're not going to dog you. We just want to clarify some stuff. Silence. And then he's clapped back by saying that on the air. What do you think, bro?
some things are better left unsaid.
He is not from Chicago. He's done some national games. He worked, for ESPN and Apple. He's done games all over, right? But never for Chicago. He's not from Chicago. So he's mispronouncing Bill Veck. He called him something else. He doesn't know the monuments. He doesn't know the history. But
at this time, do you think Reinsdorf says, I don't want to hear this shit. Let me go ahead and get somebody else? Because, at the end of the day, upper management does listen to these stations, and they obviously pay somebody to listen to these guys.
He has someone that listens to it and then reports back to Reinsdorf.
Right.
I don't think he's listening to every game, right?
No.
But you had Jason Benetti, who went through the transition of having Hawk Harrelson, then he would stub in for him, and then became full time. And it took a while. He was corny, but he was super knowledgeable. If you ever listen or watch any ESPN, NFL football, baseball, he does just about everything. He's done hockey. Jason Benetti is a well-versed, well-knowledgeable person to be on the call. He does his research. He interviews everybody in the clubhouse. He's respected. And they got rid of him.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Because he was too corny. I'm sorry. Everyone in Chicago loved him.
The corny guy. But we prefer the corny guy because he knew his shit. Now you got to bring in somebody who doesn't know anything and doesn't respect the city. I'm going to tell you this right now because that's huge. And remember we talked about last week, adobo and whatever, the seasoning. And the seasoning is a big effect on these games, but the loyalty, and it's full circle, right? Because we cited about feelings earlier. Well, you know what? We're in our feelings now. Because this guy does not respect the city of Chicago. He's not taking the time to learn the names of the players. He's not even going down there and saying, hey, before, like 5 minutes before the game, hey, you know what? I don't want to really mispronounce your name. Let me go ahead and look up these stats or start learning the players, shake their hands, because they got that access. Let's not play like they don't have the access to these guys.
He got into with Tommy Pham. He went in there and he asked him a stupid question. Tommy Pham's just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you asking me, bro? Like he got in, Tommy Pham's, trying to be a professional, but he's like, what are you doing, bro? Like
he's got to go. For you guys, for your sake,
and again, I wanted Connor McKnight, or I actually wanted Adam Amin. I would love to have Adam Amin, who does play-by-play for the Chicago Bulls. He's on NFL. He does all the the Bears games when they're in town. He's also a great addition, also from the city of Chicago. So you have that passion, and you have a professional. Same thing with Benetti.
Did y'all take Stone from what's his Stoney from the Cubs?
Stoney, yes, he was on the Cubs and he came over.
Yeah, just paying.
Well, y'all have your own issues in the booth, and that's why he left. Also, he was calling out the team, and the team was like, "We're listening. We don't like what you're saying about us," and getting mad at him. So that was your sensitive team at that time.
They're man, feelings. Everybody in their
feelings. All right, let me wrap up. Yeah, exactly. Let me wrap up the White Sox segment. The White Sox have just designated Brad Keller for assignment. He came over from Kansas City. He was doing okay at a 2.84 ERA in 12 and 2/3 innings, but he got rocked by the Yankees, expected. And he's designated for assignment. So if no team wants to claim him or trade for him in this week, he can accept going to the minor leagues, or you become loose. Adios. Exactly. Adios. And then we have a possible trade. The Atlanta Braves have been struggling with their fifth starter, and it looks like the White Sox may be their call again. They are looking at Eric Freddie to fill that void for the fifth starter. He was he was pitching in Korea last year, and he won the what's called the whatever the award is for Cy Young over there. So he's under control. So potential trade would be Eric Freddie for two minor leaguers, one Cade Kuehler and Alan Winans. Alan Winans is a little older. I think he's like about 28 years old. He would come up to the major league roster, and Cade Kuehler is 21 and would start at A-ball. So I would say at this point, man, get as many assets as you can for the players that you have.
And a radio flyer bike. I mean, come on, man. This is making random trades now. We're just getting all these prospects. But you know what? That's how you build your farm.
Exactly. You got to build your farm up so you can have a winning team. So the White Sox, they should be making a lot of these moves coming in. So I'm excited to see what Chris Getz actually does with this team, because he hasn't outright said we're going to rebuild or we're going to retool or we're going to do this. He hasn't really had that conversation with the media and the fans. So right now he's trying to put his own stamp on the team. There's nothing we do but sit and wait. So let's switch over to the north side and the struggling. I'm sorry. Yes, struggling Cubs.
The bats ain't flying no more. The bats ain't flying. But Shota is the only show we got going because that brother is undefeated. And Steven better not come over here with that loyalty. Man, Hendricks got
Steven's still on the toilet, man. He got AD over there.
He got smacked. Them hoes ain't loyal. No, brother, we ain't loyal. We is not gonna be loyal to no damn Hendricks. He needs to go. And now they're talking about, let's pull him. Did you read those articles where they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and let's think. Really, you let this brother go for 2.5 months, right? Because baseball started a little early in March.
Yeah, it starts in March. But I mean, at the thing, I don't think they're going to DFA him just yet because you have no pitching that you can bring up from the minor leagues. So he's going to eat some innings and suck it up for you for a couple more starts. I say 2 more starts before they actually start looking at outside interest and getting some bodies in here, because right now, like you said, Shota Maga is the only pitcher. Well, I mean, you're right now. Steele's not 100% back yet.
Hold on, is it Walensky or Wazensky? I can never say that cat's last name, yeah. But he is actually decent. He's actually doing pretty well. The problem with him is that no run support. Like the bats just the whole deal. They just all fell apart. They don't work. When the ball comes, the bat goes the other fucking way. It is horrible. It is ridiculous, and it's embarrassing because we have all these heavy hitters. Ain't nobody hitting nothing. You paid Bellinger to get all these home runs and hits and being. He's not doing too hot either.
I mean, he came back from a rib injury, didn't he?
Oh, Bendito didn't stay on the IR. I don't care. You ready to play? Play.
Hey, man, the rib injuries linked.
Look at Hart. Look at Hart. He played all those minutes for New York Knicks, and he had the rib injury. He's holding and he's running and he's running and he's running. And you know what? And that's a Tibbs way. But he's gonna run him into the floor. But I got it, Tibbs, and he's hurt. So Bellinger can go and swing a damn bat. Ain't nobody want to hear his nonsense. Swing the bat.
I like you give those Knicks players, a lot of credit. They play with a lot of heart. Shout out to my boy Anthony Fuentes. He's suffering right now because he's a Knicks fan. Broken hands, broken ribs. Everyone else is on whatever.
This is bad. It's bad. But we got Swanson coming back. We got Nico coming back. We probably have this prospect called Luis Vasquez. He's going to be playing. I think
he just got called up, right? So he'll be playing tomorrow.
We got to shake it up.
Wisdom has been okay for you guys as he's been playing a little bit more. Canario has been okay. Nico Horn has been blah.
He's coming back. He's not officially back yet.
Yeah, Suzuki after the injury has really struggled at the plate. Pico Armstrong's been okay as well. Madrigal is just bad. Morel, he got that home run the other night. Morel's what Morel's going to do. He reminds you a lot of Javi, where it's boom or bust. There's a lot happening or there's nothing happening.
Yeah, I feel they're going to trade him.
You think they'll trade Morel?
I think they would because why? Baseball is one of those teams that you got to trade them while they're hot, and because we know they're gonna fizzle down the end, right? So we did it with Baez.
The Cubs are not known for that. The Cubs
no. I'm just stating what baseball does. I didn't say Cubs do it. No, they should, but they were smart enough to get rid of Baez. And look, the Suckies over here, Rockies, they were dumb enough to pay Bryant all that money, and look what he's doing. That is the former Rookie of the Year, the former MVP. Everything. He's got us a ring. I love the man. And you know what? I'm sorry, Colorado, but you took him. You paid him, but the man was always hurt his last few years, and you overpaid for garbage. You overpaid for somebody who's always hurt.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. Make it make sense.
Oh, no, that's not my job. My job is just to spit out the news, sir, and give my interpretation. But I'm not making no bun sense because if I can make sense, I'd be working for an MLB team and trying to fix dudes.
Going back to your point, though, you said Cubs never do that, and I wasn't even going around that
No,
circle. But you know what? They did. They managed to get rid of people that the city
They
loves.
still have Hendricks. They still have
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
They need to get rid of that motherfucker a long time ago.
They didn't want to give Javi. They traded Javi right at the end of the career, and
Rizzo.
because they couldn't re-sign him. Rizzo's been decent for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one person. That's the one piece you should have kept. You should have kept your first baseman. That's a cornerstone. That would have been a veteran to teach these kids how to play. That's the guy you should have.
He was there during the hard times, the 100-game losing seasons. He was there, and he was there for the championship season. I would not be surprised if he comes back in some sort of capacity after he is done. I wouldn't be surprised because this is where he started, and he always says, "I love Chicago." He's in New York. He's playing now, but he still continues to say because most of his years have been here, and his championship year is here. He bought us something we haven't had in 108 years. So if New York wins
the World Series this year, now it's debatable, right? Now it's debatable. Like, okay, when he retires,
which hat is
he going to wear?
Oh man.
Right, it gets sticky at that point because he won a championship.
They'll turn into Ronis Chapman and just throw everybody under the bus. Oh, you don't using me correct? No, man.
You guys are really struggling at the plate, hitting 230. Your OBP is 314. Slugging percentage at 379, and your OPS at 693. I mean, those numbers are not great. And right now, I believe you guys are in second place to the Brewers. Am I correct?
Yeah, we're a half game out. But look at Suzuki not doing much. Wisdom, Swanson.
2 games.
Swanson's due to come back. Madrigal.
Madrigal.
Come
on, you can say stuff in Spanish. You can't say Madrigal.
Bush.
I hate you. He's cooled off since the month of April.
Thank you.
Yeah,
he was one of the hot ones that started.
Yeah, he was. He's a rookie. He's gonna cool. You Cub fans get delusional and ride that train. You think that train's gonna keep riding?
We're not gonna think that it's gonna keep riding, but somebody else has got to pick up the slack.
There's no one else. Everyone is hurt.
That's the problem. Bellinger just came back, right? Where Swanson's set to come back. Suzuki just came back. Oh, we can't forget about Hap. What's happening with Hap? That motherfucker, he disappeared too.
It ain't happening. That's what that is. It ain't happening with Hap. It ain't happening.
Jesus, I need help. Please send help. This is straight trash.
The Cubs are 26-22, 2 games out of first place. The Brewers are 2 games up. The Cubs have been 4-6 in the last 10. They have they're under 500 away, and they play pretty good at home at 14-9. They have Atlanta coming up.
They got a hell of a schedule coming up. And Atlanta, we're not going to beat Atlanta. Consider that
Atlanta
3 series
on you last time. Let's see. What was Atlanta's? Oh, you got one of them. Let's see. I got our guest chiming in. So, okay. I don't.
We already killed 30 minutes. What?
Yeah, we did.
It's 7 o'clock. Oh, it's 8 o'clock your time, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get him in.
Yeah, let's get him in. Trying to get this copy to see. I mean, what do you think the Cubs are going to do? I mean, what are they going to look for?
They're going to look for a miracle because you got this squad out there just looking for religion or something because they're not hitting nothing. They're going to go all Madonna on us. I've been praying for an angel or whatever the hell she's been singing. I'm telling you, this is horrible. And it's hard to watch when you start, like you said, you start off so hot and the delusional effect. But to be honest, somebody's got to pick up that slack. Everybody can't suck. And it's funny because I was talking to somebody out here where, they're watching the Nuggets. I'm going to say that. And then when they all start, the starters got all pulled that last game, right, in the fourth quarter. And Jokic, they're like, they can't all just be bad. They have to be what is it called? That they're trying to come home and finish it off here and say, no, baby, they trying to finish that out there because they need the rest. They need the rest. They're not. This is not a conspiracy. There you go, to bring it back to Denver so that way they can play. No, they're literally trying to win so that way they can get the rest. They just sucked. So the Cubs are the same way. They just suck right now. They're going to be in that funk. I was hoping the funk would be a little later than now, but
I really think right now it's a good time to have that low. I mean, you guys outkick your coverage. You play better than you should have been playing in April. And now May, with the injuries, now no one's stepping up, the pitching, so the hitting has dropped. You're going to have these lows. The problem is that you're having these lows against, the Pirates, who are on your tail. Then you have, a hard schedule this month. So that really isn't helping you at all. And that's a problem. So if we look at our the schedule coming up,
I'm going to be lighting that Santo candle too, because I'm like, here you go.
Oh my God! Again, why not engage with the White Sox? There's a couple pitching prospects that you can get from the bullpen.
Nah, we ain't engaging with y'all. Let me tell you, because you guys punked us last time. Y'all took somebody. No, you can have Hendricks.
You know what? At this point, we would have to take Hendricks, and it can't be any better than what we got now. So, hey, Hendricks is a throw-in. We'll throw this guy in. We'll pay half his salary. You're gonna have to do that. So, we'll do that. So, all right, we'll take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with a full house. Stevie-B is finally off the toilet, and our special guest will be here. And yeah, you're horrible keeping secrets, man. You are horrible.
I didn't say the first name.
Oh my God!
Y'all from Chicago. There's a bunch of Ramirez's in Chicago. Come on, man. Let the man live. I didn't say the first name, did I? Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the whole word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No More on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Thanks, Sean. Let's take this off the screen. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for staying on with us. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. We got No Sweat Serg, and Stevie-B is finally off the toilet seat.
Hey, I was told 8 o'clock.
Wow. Nope. That is not what I said. Anyways, I would like to introduce our guest. You may know him from Fox 32. You'll see him on Sunday nights. You'll see him on the pitch with the Chicago Fire. You see him with the Chicago Bears in the pre and post game. The man, the myth, the legend, Gabe Ramirez.
Yo, what up?
Hey, welcome.
What up?
Chilling, man. You guys can hear me. Everything's good. Making sure my.
Now we're good, brother. You are professional. You're professional, so we good.
Shout out to my wife, man. No, just
hey, man.
I see that. I don't have that lining anymore. I got.
Oh, Bobby, you got good genes back there. You know what I'm saying? Hat. When you got the hat, you know what it is. When I ain't gotta have a hat, I leave them on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
I love it, man. I can't do it no more.
Yeah. All right. So I got to say this in the beginning of the podcast. I
get on the milk. Yeah.
Put the kids up there. You know, what I'm saying? Kids are sleeping now. Haven't had a chance to eat dinner. We've been walking around and everything like that. So I'm gonna eat some cereal.
Oh, go. What cereal you got?
What kind of
cereal? I want to know.
Hey, check it out. So I'm a sucker for a sale. You know what I mean? For me, when I go eat cereal, it's whatever's on sale and whatever's on sale. So check it out. This one, Bing. Hold up.
What? Red, white, and blue Captain Crunch. All right.
That's
right.
Yeah. I always miss.
We
was
be
on
doing
sale.
all sorts of free advertising here, so we're good.
Yeah, little $2.50. You can't beat that. Anyways, I haven't eaten, so I got the cereal, but I'm ready to talk sports. And I got my. You're right. You said the Chicago Fire. I got my Chicago Fire shirt on. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's
I
go.
love it.
There we go.
I just
All
gotta
right.
say, for Captain Crunch, it rips up the bottom of your top of your roof of your mouth, but it's totally worth it.
So worth it. It's so worth it. And then the milk is delicious afterwards.
You know, since the guy with the Taco Bell issues, like, let the man eat the Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I hear it. It's just like a little personal opinion right there. I get it.
Yeah,
I think
I love it. I'll eat Captain.
Definitely, if you eat too much of it, see, that just lets me know that you either got a big ass bowl at your house, or you just like you used to be even fatter when you know what I'm saying. Like,
It's like the scene from Friday, when he's got the bowl, he
right?
pours
That's
everything
what I'm saying.
in.
You got a
Yeah.
big ass spoon in your house too.
Yep.
Your mom's trying to pour the beans, and the spoon's in your room because you're eating too much cereal.
There you go.
Big spoon too. The big spoon.
Big spoon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys, let's get into man, everybody's just hitting me up now.
What are we getting into?
And Jason wants the link. No, man, not everybody wants to come on the podcast. That's funny.
Yeah, that's usually what
I'll
happens.
send that over to
me. It wasn't because of me.
of
I'm about to drop off. Ain't nobody love my ass.
All right, so what we talking about, fellas? What we talking about?
Oh no, man! It is time to talk about our Chicago Bears. The schedule is finally out, and people are just speculating how many wins we're gonna have, and I think it's just some people are realistic, some people are naysayers, some people are just out of their mind. But we're looking at the schedule, and we open up against Green Bay, and that is a home game, 325 game. We got a rookie quarterback and a lot of moving pieces that are being integrated into the system. Everyone's optimistic, and I get that. But how optimistic are you guys of taking that first game against Green Bay?
Well, always optimistic.
Before he gets a spoonful of cereal, go.
No, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. What were you guys gonna say? Steve, Serge, what were you guys saying?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that with the third easiest schedule that we have the third easiest schedule. I'm always optimistic against the Packers until we start playing the Packers. We always get into it first inning, first quarter. We're just like, oh yeah, this looks great. And the second quarter rolls around, and then we're like, something's wrong. In the third quarter, we didn't show up no more, Papa. We didn't show up during halftime. we went home. We took the ball and went home. But hopefully this season, with all the money that we've invested, we're bringing in all these rookies, and we're bringing in all these pieces that Fields didn't get. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still mad about that. I don't care what anybody tells me. They set that kid up to fail. But when you bring in Caleb Williams, he's getting all these nice little pieces and toys, and he's gonna chuck it and do the claw thing and whatever. I'm optimistic. I think we can beat Green Bay, and I think we can beat them twice. I don't think Love is that great, and I've watched the Love tapes. I think Love is pretty good, but I don't think he's gonna be better than Williams with the weapons we have. It's not only the Williams show. There is other players out there doing their thing. So I think the Bears will win that game. I do.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on that bandwagon here. I'm all for Caleb. I think this is the first time I think Chicago actually has wide receivers around a guy that potentially can make these great throws and to pass the ball around and not just throw the ball backwards and a slant, and the play calling is going to be a lot different. So I'm going to be a little optimistic here. I'm on the train. I want everything. I want the season to start tomorrow. I think between Caleb, Swift, you have Keenan Allen, everyone there. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys play, even if it's a little scrappy, a little dogfight the whole game. But I mean, honestly, it's all hype and excitement. So I think everyone in the city's excited.
Yeah, for it.
Gabe, you're muted. There you go.
I said, I think what we can all agree on is that it is exciting, right? I mean, we're all excited for week one to begin. I think when you're looking at the Bears team and just when it comes to expectations, it's difficult, especially with week one, because we remember last year, right? Week one, going into season, everyone was overconfident. assuming the Bears were gonna, like you said, Serge, take both from Green Bay, and ultimately you got to go out there and play. So I think for me, we got to be excited about the right thing, right? And what we should be excited about is not necessarily beating Green Bay, right? We should be excited about the growth of the football team. In week 1, even if we don't win, whatever, right? Caleb's first game in the NFL. Why put that much pressure on him to go out there and beat a guy in Jordan Love who's actually really good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can put our Bear hat on and say that he sucks, but the stats will tell you otherwise, right? If you watch him play any of his last 6, 7, 8 games, I mean, that would tell you otherwise, right? So to put that pressure on him and have the expectations like, yeah, we better whip that ass, like that's where we as Bears fans fall into that rut, right? Because then after week 1, what if he throws for 250 with an interception and 2 touchdowns? People are gonna be like, he lost, he threw an interception, he threw for, whatever. And it's like, nah, that's growth. That's week 1. We should be excited, like we mentioned at the beginning, about the Bears and what this season is gonna give us, which is a lot more W's, hopefully, than we've had in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and for me, like, I get that everyone's like excited for Bear season. They want it to start tomorrow because we got a brand new shiny toy and we all want to play with it. And I get that. But what I'm looking at is like the preseason. He's not going to play in the preseason more than 4 or 5 minutes. He's not going to play out there. And then how much can he progress? How much continuity can he have with just practice? You're not going to get that pressure that you have from an NFL team trying to get to you, because you're wearing your red shirt, you're wearing the super duper helmet that, that some people have to wear. But, he's not going to have game play or game speed conditions.
All right, let me ask you this, Z. Let me ask you this, because I was having this conversation with a lot of my guys, and it was, 1, is Caleb Williams going to play in the Hall of Fame game week 1? Right, in August, right? And 2, if you agree or if you feel as though he is, how much of that game is he going to play? Because a lot of the people that I were talking to, they're like, he won't touch the field that first game. And I was like, what?
No.
He needs the reps. That's what I'm saying. What do you guys think?
I really don't think he's going to have any reps. It's going to be the Bajan show. And Bajan's going to go run around and, dink and dunk and let the running game go. I don't think the starters play very much time, and they're not going to let Caleb have the opportunity to get hurt. There's no reason to put him out there to get hurt. And that's what I'm scared of, that he's not going to have the continuity going into game 1. And I think game 1, you're going to see a lot more running plays, a lot more screen plays, a lot of dink and dunk. I don't think we're going to unpackage the entire Caleb repertoire in game 1. And I think that they lose game 1.
He's definitely going to go over the top a couple times to either
I would hope so.
DJ, something like that.
He's not going to listen to Shane Waldron. He's like, I'm going to do my own thing.
I do think he gets some. I think he does probably the first drive in that.
I was going to say he should at least get 2 drives.
I think he will, because we're all too damn excited. They're gonna rush him out there on the field, and this is what we got, guys. But everybody keeps forgetting we're talking about the offensive side of the ball, because Chicago's known for defense, and we are all excited to put some points on the board, because this is where we always get stuck in reverse. Like, the defense will do what they're supposed to do, but the offense will never do what they need to do, right? So we're all excited for that. So I do think Caleb will get, at least a drive, and then I do think that we're forgetting the X factor, which is the defense, because we do have some great pieces on defense. So we don't forget that other side of the ball. We're all excited for offense, but we're going to still need our defense.
I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about continuity on the offensive side.
We never have it.
I will say this. I know we don't want him to get hurt. I totally get that. But the thing that comes to mind with me is last season, Justin Fields didn't really play that much, and it showed. And the preseason is definitely where, you practice, you get the flow going, and, practice, it's non-contact. It's just, even if he does preseason, I'd like to, again, maybe 4 drives at least, get some rhythm.
I'd be shocked if Caleb Williams doesn't take a snap in that game. I'd be shocked, right? Someone, you just want him to just do something against another team that's live. 1 drive. I don't know. I don't think 2. I don't think 2. I don't think 4.
Two
I think he might want 2. He might want 4. I think that
2
first
drives,
one.
Respectively, you just tell them, hey, if your first and second option aren't there, throw it out of bounds. Make sure you're safe. Do not take any hits. Like, if your first read, second read are not there, throw it away. Like, because our number one option, like our number one thing is we want you to walk away from these games healthy, ready to play in regular season, but we also realize you need these reps. You need live action. You need pass rush in your face, timing, everything else. So
right.
To me, like those, you can try and game simulate that in practice all you want. It's not the same as in game live. Here we go. So to me, like I said, I would like to see two series, and then, like I said, you can hand it off to Bajent and all the other guys all you want. Now, talking about defense, the one thing that does scare me, yeah, we got Sweat, but who's on the other side across from him? Are we re-signing Ngakwe, or are we who's that other edge rusher on the other side? So that's one of my, I know eventually some veterans will be getting released, through OTAs and different stuff like that. But that is definitely where I'm keeping an eye out for who's across from Sweat. And then, is Pickens, evolving as well. We already know what we got in Dexter. So like I said, I would like to see what we got in Pickens if he can start showing himself on the field as well.
I mean, that's always going to be the question until like OTAs and all these contracts where they get their bonuses, and during the summer, are they going to get cut and all that stuff? That's the big, what if? So we've really got to deal with the what we have now. So everyone over here is taking the W for Green Bay in their first game.
I'm going to be optimistic, and I've been pretty good last season with some of my picks, but I'm not going to toot my own horn. But I'm going to say be optimistic, and I'm going to say we take it from Green Bay.
Steve, of course.
We take back the North for week one.
Dub for the Bears every day of the week. I can say whatever I want about Caleb and whatever, but expectations. But I still want them to win, and I'll never say that they're going to lose, especially not week one. But no, yeah, for sure. Dub.
We're all here for Gabe. We're all here for the progress, though, right? And we want to see him excel. I don't want to hear 2 years down the line where now we got to trade him or whatever BS. I am not here for it. I want to see him progress. I want to see him stay. My kids like him. It was just I'm just tired of the in and outs of not having that quarterback. Since I think Jay Cutler, right?
But Serge, hold on. But Serge, you are here for it. Yeah. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself.
I don't like the in and out.
They trade him. Even if they trade him in 3 years, you're still gonna be doing a podcast talking about the Bears. You love them. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, right? Where it's like we can try to be as angry as we want to be, but then we have to put our real cloak on and be like, bro, we're really gonna ride this out. We hope. It's not that we're not here for it. We don't want to go through it because our heart aches, right?
It's a love-hate relationship.
We understand. We have to come to grips with that, right? We have to come to grips with that to appreciate the team in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he sucks, guess what? So be it. Ryan Poles has put together a good team, and I trust him to pivot from Caleb Williams to find something else. Like, we got lucky, right? Like, Carolina gave us their first pick. It materialized into Caleb Williams. If he doesn't pan out, then so what? Then we got to move on. As an organization, as a fan base, we're trying to support this team. We could be angry about it, right? But it's like, we are here for it. We ain't lying, man. Get out of here, man. You're going to be right there.
It's a love-hate relationship. When we lost to Denver last year, I was mad. I mean, last season, I was mad. When that ball went over Fields' head and we were up by 20, and I was mad. And I am in Colorado right now. I was livid. I looked at Fields, and the ball went like this, and he's like, I said we lost. I said,
well, we've talked on this podcast numerous times how we needed an upgrade at center. So, let's hope and pray to God that the guy we traded a 5th round pick or 6th round pick, Barton or Burton. Let's hope to God, that he's better than what we had.
Yeah. I mean, switching it up is important. The Bears obviously had themselves a wish list and what they would have ideally wanted, right? But I think bringing in 2 older or veterans, I should say, that were sought after, to handle that position. It's just at some moments in time, you just need a fresh coat of paint, right? Whether that be at the quarterback position or whether that be, at the center position where you feel like the fan base as a whole has grown tired, to your point, Serge, of being over with it, right? With a particular player and understanding that there is an opportunity for an upgrade. And I think that you're right. hopefully that is the case that the Bears did that at the center position, because it was bad last year. It was really bad last year.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many quarterbacks Green Bay has had in 20 years. I believe it's 5 starting quarterbacks. If 5. How many have Chicago had in the past 20 years?
Not as many as Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's very true.
That's fair.
Thing I can say.
That is fair. But
All
we've
right.
had a lot. We've had a lot of growing pains, and hopefully the pain won't be as bad this season as we've had in the past.
No, and I don't think anybody's expecting the season to be bad. I mean, we were a 7-win team, and we're looking to build on that with the additions that we got on offense and the defense that's going to come back and dominate. That's how we feel about it. So I don't see them, just being a 7-win team again, barring injury, right? So if we're looking at the game, let's take the first 4 games: Green Bay, Tampa Bay, KC, Denver. Any losses in there?
Sam again.
Green Bay, Tampa Bay, KC, Denver.
KC's the only one I can see that's a big matchup for us.
Definitely Kansas City. You said
I'd say we split.
Yeah, they are in Kansas City. They're at Tampa Bay, and then home versus Denver.
Denver, we should definitely take. I think between Kansas City, it'll be rough. I mean, I just never discount Andy Reid. Tampa Bay, they still got great wide receivers there who are underrated. Baker Mayfield took a huge step forward in his career last year, with maturing and just being a back. And then Green Bay, if we split and go 2-2, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
like I said, because you're looking at Green Bay and Kansas City, possibly as the split, and then I would take Tampa Bay and Denver
Really?
as wins.
Gabe, you see a 2-2 team out of the first 4 games?
No. I see an undefeated team.
Ooh.
Are you looking at the right schedule, or are you looking at preseason?
Guys, I'm never gonna. It doesn't matter. You got to remember. You know what I mean? Like with my job, I have to be optimistic, and I am. And so for me, it's every week we winning, baby. We winning.
We were just talking about some White Sox.
I know who signs my check, fellas.
Some White Sox broadcaster that didn't even know the players' names and so forth. So we're good with you.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the right schedule though? Because the first 4 games is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we played Kansas City.
Houston,
Honestly,
Colts, and the Rams. We don't play Denver again. We played them in 4 years. We played them last season.
I say 3-1. I think that KC matchup is a toss-up. I think we have a very good defense. It's just really on the developmental side of Caleb Williams understanding the offense and being able to dissect that defense that isn't that good.
What day do we play KC?
September 24th. 325 game.
I've got 9-8 is Tennessee, 9-15 is Texans, 9-22 is the Colts, and 9-29 the Rams. We shouldn't be playing Denver again. We play in Denver every 4 years.
So the first 4 games of this year is Titans, Texans, Colts, Rams.
Am I looking at something different here?
You sure are, because I don't recall Green Bay.
You might be
the
looking
first
at
game.
last year's or something.
Oh yeah, last year's game. My bad, guys.
I was a little confused here.
My bad.
And I just woke up from a nap too, so I thought I was out of it.
Yeah, but
no, I clicked on the first image on Google.
That hard toilet seat you've been sitting on.
Hey,
for
Gabe's eating right now. We don't want to be talking about that. And no, I was sleeping.
I knew I was sitting here like we're not talking about the right games.
Yeah,
we're supposed to have a pretty
good call.
Easy first half.
Serge, it's never a hard seat. It's always the one with the cushion. You got to get that right.
He's got
Okay?
that
Those ripping and they put a cut in your
there.
butt. I'm good. I ain't touching them Willa seats.
Pay the extra $7, bro. Get yourself some luxury. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, exactly. I mean, I think I do a pretty good job. I'm not like have the debate and stuff. But I'm just saying
you're also having Taco Bell on a daily basis, so you need that extra cushion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
if I go to your house and you have a toilet seat with a little wire sticking out that's gonna sprinkle my ass, I don't know if I trust you.
Exactly. Thank you. It's like, what are you really into? I want to know.
This is like in the guest bathroom. This is not even in your personal private one. What's going on here? Hard pass.
Wait,
I know
our
plenty of people
struggle will be against
that'll
Houston.
tell you different.
Yeah.
They say it changed their lives.
No.
Yeah.
But
No.
I think our struggle will be Houston.
So to reiterate the correct schedule, I'm sorry for that. Game one's against
Titans,
Tennessee,
Texans,
then you got
Colts.
Houston, then you got the Colts, and then you got the Rams. So that is the correct schedule for the first 4 games. I am so sorry.
Yeah, so we definitely take the Titans. Texans is going to be rough. I mean,
Yeah, that's a toss-up for me.
Diggs there now with that. Tank Dell's back healthy, and Nico Collins is an animal. I think that'll be a rough matchup. Colts, I think we take it. Rams, they're always rough.
They don't play well at Soldier Field.
Yeah, but I mean Puka Nakua, and how many times have I watched Cooper Kupp, blow past Eddie Jackson for a 45-yard touchdown? Which I know Eddie Jackson ain't back there anymore, but
right.
I never discount the White Angel of Death. That's what they call my boy.
I'm still gonna stick with my split. I'm still gonna stick with my split.
So most of us are going 2-2 on that one. Gabe is going 4-0
I'm
on that.
3-1 with Texans as well.
Gabe's writing that undefeated. He's like, he's like, Miami, we're coming for your undefeated streak. All right, so Gabe's got them 4-0. We all have a split there. Obviously, Carolina game. That should be a W, right? We all agree on that one. And then we have the London game against Jacksonville on the 13th of October. Obviously, it's a 8:30 a.m. start.
They don't do well in another country. I have not seen them do well. And remember, they played the Raiders, and we almost had them, and we let them off the hook.
Oh, good callback there. Yeah, good callback.
I just feel after that.
Go ahead, JC. So I see that as a win.
That's fair. I'm just saying we don't do well across the country, but
I just feel like the next following week these guys are going to be off time zone or even during the game because of the adjustment. Even for me, waking up at 8:30 on a Saturday after the night before, I'm definitely going to have to have some.
You're not getting paid to get up. These guys are
That's
paid.
True. That's true. You guys can
pay
do
to
that.
play. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're in your jammies.
Huh?
Are you going out there, Gabe, to London?
No, not to London, but have you guys ever heard of the story? It's the one of Caleb Williams where he goes 8-0 to start the season. It's an unbelievable tale of triumph and overcoming, hardships. It's unbelievable. He goes to London
here selling Pixar films
with a 6-hour. What'd you say? 6-hour time difference. You think he's gonna worry about it? Stop it. He's from California. He deals with time changes all the time. Yeah. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna go out there, 2 tutties to Roma Dunze.
Well, hopefully he does.
Like he's doing something, and 8-0 guys. Come on. I love this. I love this exercise. 8-0 Bears.
I love this exercise.
So
mathing. Not mathing.
Gabe has them 8-0 after week 9.
That second half against all of our division rivals is going to be a rough one.
Right. Obviously, I say week 10 against New England. That's another win. That should not be an issue. I really think the hard road does start when we start playing our division in week 11 against Green Bay. And that one is at home. So
that changes everything. Caleb's had enough reps. He's got enough with his squad, right? He should be able to be, if he's healthy. I think he puts together a W. We can possibly win by 17. I mean, I can see it because he would have all of those minutes and time and all those reps with his current squad. We marching, we can be Green Bay.
So no Sweat Serg is jumping on the Gabe Ramirez train, and they're
wait. If it was week 1, like you said, the wrong schedule.
Sorry, the wrong one.
But now that we walk into...
Hey, Serge, let's do another bet. Let's do this one. I'll take this bet on you right now.
Here we go.
The last one didn't come out so well, but hey,
you never come out well. But go ahead. You never win. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
That's not true. I do pretty well for myself.
What's the
UFC does really well for me.
With yourself or for yourself? Go ahead.
Both. No, I'm just saying you do the picks and I'll, we'll draw something up. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. We got to do it. But yeah, I'm willing to take some bets here. Big Z, you could also fill in if you want in on this bet too.
I've been on losing streak. I'm not betting anything. We've got New England, Green Bay, and Minnesota with week 12. So right now, Gabe has us undefeated.
How does it feel, gentlemen?
I mean, if this actually does happen, I'm gonna feel completely like he was right and I was wrong, and I'll own up to it. I'll definitely own up to it. I wouldn't be mad.
Put it in the parlay, guys. Yes, be all right.
I mean, I'll do it. I'll put a $5 bet to do that whole thing.
Look at that Houston Texans
Only
game.
in a dream, baby. Only in the dream.
But I ain't waking up, man.
Yeah, I don't want to wake up if it's a dream. But realistically speaking, they're going to take their licks, and at least 2 losses probably. I'll say 2 losses. But you Gabe over there selling Pixar films.
I mean,
hey, they got some good films out there.
They do.
Yeah.
Looking at our schedule, I look at San Francisco as a possible loss, split one with Green Bay, and the Houston Texans. To me, like, those are the 3 games that I could see as potential losses.
Colts wasn't bad on defense either. Are we forgetting about what they did during the season too? The Colts weren't that bad.
Colts with Anthony Richardson back could be interesting, but I don't see them as that big of a scary team. Jonathan Taylor was getting outplayed by his backup last year. You got Alex Pierce, who was nowhere to be found. Michael Pittman's the only guy on the Colts that really does much of anything. Their defense is okay, but their linebacker core is aging. To me, like, the Colts don't really scare me.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Gabe. So what's your final prediction for the Bears season on their record?
I mean, jokingly, obviously I say 16, 17, you know what I'm saying? But I think realistically, we're in for a 9 or 10 win season. Right? I think the Bears should be able to capitalize on what they did last year with 7 victories. As most Justin Fields apologists will tell you, they should have won 2 more.
Right.
And that's without, the additions that Ryan Poles has made over the last several months. So I think Caleb should be able to, even if if he's just a fucking mediocre quarterback, right? The Bears should be able to pull off 7 victories and match the output from last year. So it's just a matter of how many wins they're going to tally on top of that. And I think when you're looking at Caleb Williams and the squad that they have, I mean, as fans, yeah, we can be like, oh, damn, 12 wins or we're going to win the thing, whatever. But like realistically, right, you should look at like a +2, maybe a +3 on the wins, because it's hard to do that year over year unless the ball is just ultimately bouncing your way in some of these games.
And Gabe, let me ask you this. Do you think if Williams doesn't turn out to be that guy, right, do you think at least he becomes a good game manager? Peyton Manning to me was not the greatest quarterback, but he managed to keep the ball. He managed not to do any turnovers or a whole bunch of interceptions. Do you think Caleb Williams can at least do that if he doesn't become that guy?
I don't think it's in his. I don't think it's in his script. I don't think it's in his path to be some sort of game manager that is a backup perennially. So I feel like Caleb Williams is an all or nothing type of player. He's either going to be one of the better ones, right? I don't want to say one of the greats, but one of the better quarterbacks to play in the NFL, or he's going to be a bust. You know what I'm saying? People are going to move on from him. He's going to get his other opportunities because he's the number 1 pick in the draft. Same way with Jared Goff. Same way with anybody like Baker Mayfield, guys that have that stature associated with their names. But ultimately, right, I think Caleb Williams is primed and ready to be, at the very least, right, like a mediocre quarterback in the league. And I think, to me, when it comes to expectations of Caleb Williams, that's where they're at for me, right? I don't need you to be great from the beginning. I don't need you to be great at Green Bay. I don't need you to do anything. I need you to get on the field. I need you to throw for 2 tutties occasionally. I need you to put up a 300-yard game. Make me feel good about that. If you throw an interception, fuck it. You threw the ball. At least you're gunslinging out there, right? Like, these are things that I'm okay with, right? Because you can grow year over year. And Patrick Mahomes, obviously is an outlier when it comes to the NFL, as are those kinds of quarterbacks. So you can't put those expectations on Caleb Williams, but you can ask for him to be mediocre and then grow from there to be better. And then whatever that ceiling is and whatever he reaches, I mean, shit, it's house money at that moment, right? You're just feeling good as a Bears fan about it. Yeah,
because we just want somebody that's going to manage the game. I mean, at the end of the day, Fields was running for his life. We had all these other quarterbacks who were just running and not just giving up the ball. And if Williams can't, let's say Williams doesn't chuck it or do what he needs to do, at least manage the game. Don't turn the ball over. That's all I want. I don't want
Serg,
somebody who's going to give up that ball.
You have so low expectations for Caleb Williams. Did you not watch this kid in college and what he's?
I did, but a lot of that doesn't translate over into the NFL sometimes. I'm saying sometimes. Whoa,
you're writing Justin Fields.
I'm just saying some of them because, like he stated, a lot of them do come in with that high expectation, and then they don't perform. So I'm just looking at the other side.
You're gonna have high expectations.
So was Jamarcus Russell. What's your point? What's your point?
Jamarcus Russell was the quarterback.
But you get what I'm saying? Like they come in with these high expectations, and sometimes they don't pan out. So I just want to at least know: can he just at least protect the ball? If anything, just manage the game. Get us like Gabe said, get us a couple of touchdowns and say I will. At least get us.
You want a game manager? Bajent's over there on the bench. That's your game manager right there. Yeah, that's the guy who holds the clipboard. That's the game manager. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
my helmet and towel.
Right? Yeah. We need Billy Beeman.
You had some good game managers back in the day. Right? You still have Manning was not a great quarterback to me.
How is Manning not a great quarterback? Stop that.
Don't you ever disrespect Peyton Manning like that. No,
I don't think it was a great quarterback. He stood there and he managed the game
with Austin Collie, Clark. Come on now.
He managed the game. He stood in the pocket. He was not a runner. He's not the modern day quarterback.
Every season. Stop it.
He was not the modern day quarterback.
You will respect Peyton Manning in my presence.
Peyton
Manning is Joe Flacco. Do not.
Right.
But Joe Flacco at least ran.
Oh boy, you want?
But I don't think he's a good quarterback either.
What do you want? You want a game manager, or you want a playmaker? Pick one.
I'm saying, can he manage the game? If he
wants a Brock Purdy, that is what he wants. He wants to make sure we're going to score 3 touchdowns a game, but no interceptions, no turnovers.
Yeah, how'd that fare out for Brock Purdy in the playoffs?
Yeah, it didn't work out too well.
Don't talk disrespect about my Brock Purdy.
I didn't say nothing about Purdy, but it wasn't Purdy.
That is my dynasty quarterback, sir. You will not talk disrespect about Brock Purdy. That man showed out in the playoffs and got his team to that championship.
All right. Before we jump off the Bears, boys, give me your predictions, and then we'll let Gabe plug his what he's doing right now.
Serge, go ahead. Keep the train rolling, man.
Yeah, keep that ex-manager train going.
Yeah.
I put mine on Facebook as well. I said that they're going to get to 8 and 9 wins. I'm right there behind Gabe where he said 9 and 10, but I was more like 8 and 9. But I think it's playoff contention. We'll get in there. We'll slide in.
All right, so it's Facebook official for Serge. Stevie-B, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 9. Solid 9 with that one. Yeah, I don't think, again, first year, I just want to be above 500. I want to be positive. I want to make mistakes. I want to learn. I want to develop this guy. I want, again, every game to be a win, but, I just want development from him. I want the coaches to make sure that he's doing the right things to be successful. And I think that's the greatest part of watching him develop and grow. I think that's my ideal of having him be successful in this league.
JC,
I'm going 12 and 5.
Ooh,
I'm sitting here looking Texan or where are we at?
He did say 3 losses. I did hear him say that at the beginning, right? He did say something about only 3 losses.
Yeah. So to me, Titans is a win. Texans loss, win. Panthers win. Jaguars win. Commanders is a win. Cardinals is a win. Patriots is a win. Packers, I think we split. So there's a second loss. Lions, I think potential split. Vikings, I think we take both games. So to me, and then Seahawks, I see as a potential win. So I'm looking somewhere at 12 and 5.
Who's going to write all this down? I won't remember this one. I like it. I like it.
That's me.
And this guy were 12. I love
being very optimistic at 12 and 5. Like I said, I mean, Dunze, Komet, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I mean, how much more could we give Caleb Williams to hey, get out there and prove it?
Oh man,
What's your reaction? You said 9 and 10. He's saying 12 and 5. What's your reaction, Gabe?
Yeah, I think there's if you talk to any handicapper, right, they're going to talk about windows for teams. And when you're talking about the NFL, it's a 4-game window. So, I mean, 12 falls within that. If I'm sticking to 9 or 10, I mean, 12's on the upper edge of that. If you're going to count that as the window, so I have no problem with that. I mean, again, it's still the NFL, right, guys? I mean, we watch it every week. We see how close the games are. We see how often the Bears fumble the bag in the fourth quarters, whether it be on the offense or defensive side of the ball. So, I mean, it's gonna be an opportunity for them to be able to right that ship if they can. And shit, they could. If they can, it ends up with 12 victories. I hope it's 17 victories for my
Tory Taylor just punch it in the 5.
I like it.
Yeah, Tory Taylor for MVP. What do you guys think about the 4th round pick on the kicker?
I'm excited.
I like it.
I like it.
I wasn't happy with it at the time because there was a center on the board that I was like, take the center. And then it's like, yeah, we did have one of the worst punters last year, didn't we? And then you look back at it and you're like, all right, even though Caleb says we ain't going to punt much, if we have a punter that can, because I mean, that guy's got a leg. I mean, watching him punt 70 yards downfield, it's like, okay.
He got the best available special teamer that can change and flip the field for you, along with, a special quarterback potentially. He did the right move. You can pick up a center like we talked about earlier, like that gets cut. We can move one of our guys over. I get it. It's not ideal. But again, would you want a rookie center with a rookie quarterback, or would you want a veteran center that's, let's say, average versus a center that's, it's just starting to learn the playbook and doesn't understand coverages and calls and all that? You want someone that's a veteran for your center that with a rookie quarterback. So I think he made the right move. If we do have to punt, we're going to punt it so far that they can't get their offense going. So I thought it was a great move.
Squib kick.
We talked about this, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I still want to see us bring in a couple place kickers to push Cairo Santos as well. Because again, I'm just not happy with his 52-yard range. It's just not enough for me.
If he's only kicking field goals, we don't need it, right?
Listen, anytime we cross that 50, I want somebody kicking a field goal. If we can't put it in the end zone,
either, bro.
You better be putting it through the uprights. Put points on the board.
They should be going for 2 every play now.
2 yards is not enough.
It's going to be NFL blitz. We're going to be going for 2 every single time. Screw the field goal.
And 4th downs, everything.
Gabe, you got time to stay on for the Bulls segment, or you got to head out?
Yeah, man. I love some Bulls.
Right, cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about our Chicago basketball team, the Chicago Bulls, and the Chicago Sky. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast with Big Z in the house. We got No Sweat Serg, Steven Batista, JC Dynasty Fantasy Football, and our special guest this week, it is Gabe Ramirez from Fox 32 and the host, the in-game host of the Chicago Fire. Our Chicago Bulls. We're going to get right into the Chicago Bulls because we had Lonzo posting that he's dunking and he's 70%. He says 70% on a podcast. I don't know how much I believe this kid. It's been almost 3 years. Is it 3 years at this point of him not playing? And, AK, our organization, has not made a trade in 3 years, a person trade. We haven't traded a player in 3 years. I don't know what to think of the Chicago Bulls right now with so many uncertainties. You got DeMar DeRozan saying you want to come back, but he's going to be expensive. If you have DeMar coming back, what does that mean for Zach LaVine? Are we trading Zach LaVine, and what are we getting back for him? Is that going to disrupt, Kobe White's continued development and then Io and so forth? So I wanted to hear from the mouth of Gabe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot. All right. There's a lot of different pieces to that puzzle when it comes to the Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
I think, one thing that, because I do want to remain positive about the team and that they are exciting, right?
Yeah.
I think I was saying that a lot on the radio last year that, they were one of the most exciting teams in the NBA, right? Not because they were the best team in the NBA,
because they played so many close games.
It was whether it was the worst team or the best team in the league. You didn't know for sure if the Bulls were going to win or lose. And more often than not, it came down to the fourth quarter. And so that's what you ultimately want when you're watching 82 games of NBA basketball. So they were extremely exciting, right? With the product that they put on the floor, they have a lot of guys that play hard. I think that everyone, right? Fans, front office, players understand that there's a ceiling when it comes to this team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's been showing over the last couple of years is that ceiling is like 6th place in the Eastern Conference, right? So something has to be done about it. I think the most unfortunate part about Zach LaVine is his inability to take control of the team and take ownership, right? I think a lot of star players, when they get to a squad, like let's say Devin Booker, perfect example, right? Not necessarily like this super A alpha guy, but good scorer, but he needs a Kevin Durant there. And even with that, still falling short, as we saw, right? But a guy like that's like, I'm going to be in Phoenix. Come rock with me over here. I'm trying to do something major. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Zach had that opportunity in Chicago where we gave him the bag. And it's like, okay, cool. Hey, check it out, bro. We don't need you to be the best player. We gave you the bag because we're trying to build a culture over here, right? Like, we're trying to bring players here. Like, accept ownership of the team, though. Like, be like, yeah, come play here with me, right? We see how electric that can be when you look at guys like Anthony Edwards, right? Who right now in the NBA doesn't want to go play with Anthony Edwards, right? Just because of his tenacity, his ownership. This is where I'm at. This is my, everything. And I feel like Zach really missed out on that opportunity and, got his money. And for whatever reason, we could debate that, for hours. But so that to me was disappointing. But ultimately, this offseason, they have to do something, right? AK has to do something. I mean, not only for the team, but if he wants to keep his job, right? I think what I like to say is that he built this team, right? He built this team, and it was good. When everybody was there, it was really good. We all saw that, right? We talked super blue in the face about that. But the shit didn't work, right? So what we got to allow AK to do with his old European self is do his Euro step, right? He did his first step. He built the team. Oh, damn, that didn't work. Now we got to let him get to the other leg, which he's yet to do. And that's what I'm excited to see him put together a new squad or what the new iteration of this team could look like, not only this season, but in a couple of years.
No sweat. I know you got a lot to say there. Go ahead.
LaVine, and I think he hit the nail on the head in regards to LaVine. We paid the man, and the man didn't do his job. We're just gonna say it like that. I love Ant because he crushed the Denver Nuggets. I think he's the general on the floor, and we don't have a general on the floor. What I was describing to my kids yesterday when we were watching the game, and I was listening to Ant talk to his teammates while they were losing and started to come up winning, is that they started changing plays and telling them what to do. And then I noticed Jokic wasn't doing that. The difference is we need a general on the floor. We need somebody who's going to lead the team. And LaVine was supposed to be that guy, but unfortunately he is not that guy. And I'm going to be honest with you and with everybody here. I like DeRozan. Don't get it twisted, but I don't think he's that general. I don't think he's the general that would be. We do need to make some sort of big splash, but will we actually do it? No. Do I like White? Yes. Do I think Caruso is on the ropes to go? Yes. And you'll never guess who my favorite player on the team is. And don't laugh at me, but it's going to be Trump. And I hope he comes back. It's a man plays his position. So there's a lot of things that could be said about this team. They can be exciting on certain nights, but they do let it go in the fourth quarter every damn time. We don't have a general on the floor. We don't have somebody who's leading this team. Who is it going to be next season? That's the huge issue for me right now, is that who's going to lead this team? Who are we going to trade for? And is there anybody out there even willing to come to Chicago? You know what I'm saying? And who's going to take LaVine? And then what the hell is Lonzo doing dunking, if that's true? I mean, the man just had knee surgery. What are we doing? So is Lonzo going to come back to his old self, and then we'll be that team we were 2 years ago when everybody was put together? there's a lot of things to be said about this team, but a winning culture is not one of them. And if we can get a general on that floor that can put this all together and help us win, I'll take it anytime, any day, anywhere.
Stevie-B.
Yeah, I will say that they are fun to watch. It's an exciting team when they're all healthy. With Lonzo, I hope nothing but the best for him when he comes in. I know it's going to be a slow start. I mean, he knows his body. If he's Duncan, I get it. He knows his body best. I will say this, though. I think they're going to run it back, see what they could get, and, see how everyone is. I think Patrick Williams is the only one that I don't know he's a free agent, I believe. And I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. I think they might if there's nothing on the market. But other than that, I mean, I would like to see an improvement. I mean, to go into at least to be a chance to fight and get in there in the playoffs. I'd like to see some growth in the win column. But I mean, if we're running it back, I just think it's going to just, be exciting. It's you're going to go for the promotions. You're going to go support the team. And they're just fun. But I just think they're going to run it back and go from there.
Well, my opinion is a lot of uncertainty. You have Mark Eversley talking to Detroit, possibly going to go be the president over there. We just hired 2 new coaches. Former Washington Wizard head coach Wes Unseld Jr. And then we got who else did we get? Ty Lue's associate head coach. What is his name? Dan Craig. So we got 2 veteran coaches to join the team with Mo Cheeks, and I guess they're adding more pieces on the coaching side. But when I'm looking at it, Kobe's your leader right now because he took over the team. When Levine went out, he blossomed as a player and took over games for a good 2 months. And then you notice that because he was playing just about every minute, he got taxed. Same thing like DeMar DeRozan, same thing. He wasn't the player that he was that first year he came here when he was, DeMar fourth quarter, the king of the fourth and all that. That's taxing for a player to do that every night, every single night. It's just ridiculous. Your leaders, I really think are Vooch and Caruso. Those are the guys that when you see a foul or you see a timeout, those are the guys that bring the guys, their teammates over and say, hey, you missed your rotation. Hey, you should have been standing here. Those are the guys that understand the offense completely. I don't see that from the rest of the players yet. I do see a lot of heart on this team. I do see a lot of selfishness on this team when it comes to being like Levine dribbling 18 seconds and then passing the ball and then trying to get it back for a last second crazy shot. That's not the type of ball we're built to play. You have Patrick Williams, who's been out at the end of both seasons. Last season and this season, he's been out. He's I believe he's a restricted free agent, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
You don't know what you have in him, and that's going to be another another Tyson Chandler that's going to leave and then blossom somewhere else because he's going to stay healthy and be in a good system with good coaching. Unfortunately, we don't have that flexibility to fill out a roster. I think they have $80 million in cap space. I mean, if DeRozan wants 40, 45, that's half of it right there. You still have to fill out the rest of the roster. Andre Drummond is a free agent. He's going to go get paid. Probably go chase a championship, right? Javon Carter is not the answer at the 3-point line. We don't have any 3-point spacing. Besides Kobe White, we don't have that. Ayo sits in a corner. That's great and all, but he's not, a threat. Like, your Trey Youngs, your Steph Currys, those guys, your Grayson Allen, who are threats to go off on the 3-point line. And that's what we don't have. And that's why we don't have the spacing. There's no reason Vooch should be on the 3-point line. Go downstairs, get your 12 to 15 rebounds, big boy. Do your job down there. Unfortunately, anytime he plays a big center, he disappears. And I love Vooch, but he disappears against any big center. I bet all season on this and lost every time he played a big center. So there's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes on this team, and you've got one off season to fill all these holes. I just don't know how you're going to do that with the cap space that you have with the uncertainty you have with your floor general in Lonzo Ball. Because when Lonzo Ball was on the court, that offense was a well-oiled machine because he understands the offense. He reminds me a lot of Rondo, where he understands offense and where you should be. And like a quarterback, I'm going to throw to an open space, and you should be there by the time the ball gets there. And that's what we don't have.
Well, from my perspective, Lonzo dunking, great. That's, anybody can do a vertical jump, underneath a basket. Show me that you're running and cutting on that knee. That's
the biggest thing.
That's what I want to see. Other than that, I've talked about this numerous times. Caruso, I love him. I love his heart, but I will package number 11 and I will try and move up in this draft. And listen, I love you. I love your heart. I love your defense, but I can't watch you every other game on my neck, on my back, on my knee, on my shoulder. Like I just I can't do it anymore. It's like I said, I love him to death, but it's look, younger. Let's get a point guard that can actually, like, if Lonzo is not Lonzo, let's find a point guard in this draft that we can, I talked about last week. We have not had a point guard since Derrick Rose. Like, I know Lonzo came in and he was performing pretty well.
We had Rajon Rondo.
Yeah, Rajon Rondo.
At the end of his twilight career, yeah. Okay.
But he was still killing the Celtics.
I'm talking about, I want a younger rookie who can lead this team and hopefully have a good shooting percentage behind the 3-point line. Something we have not had in a long time. Like I said, Kobe, he's playing out of position. So Lonzo coming back, great. All right. That puts Kobe again. Levine, I would trade him for a bag of chips. Do you want me to flip the shirt around?
Please flip the shirt around because Gabe hasn't seen it.
Oh my goodness.
Gabe has not seen this shirt. We're gonna make this available pretty soon.
We can't see.
He can't see it. He can't see it.
Can't see it.
He can't see it.
We can't sing the song.
Zach Levine, something.
Yeah.
Can we
Zach. Hold on, back up a little bit, JC. Back up.
Going left. There we go.
Who's Zach Levine standing next to?
He's the man in the mirror looking at Michael Jackson. JC. Unfortunately, you cannot trade for a bag of chips because NBA, you have to match that.
One of the things we talked about all last year when Lonzo was playing horrible was that he needed to look in the mirror.
Lonzo
and look at himself with his ISO ball. Levine. And just basically like realize like he's the guy that's causing the problems and stalling the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Gabe had to pull a whole new bowl of cereal.
I got my own feelings about this thing, so I'm just like, man.
He's on his third bowl of cereal already.
He's got another box somewhere.
This man's out of milk.
If I don't eat it, the kids will. You know what I'm saying? That's
fair. Don't let them eat the good
gotta
stuff.
eat it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, unfortunately, I just feel like Levine's ISO ball does not work in the offense we're trying to run. Like
I can agree with that.
I mean, listen, guys, we're bashing on a guy, but it's the whole damn team, right? Like, I understand we were talking about, it's Zach Levine, ISO ball. Every time DeMar got the ball, it was ISO ball. Every time Boots got the ball, it was ISO ball, right? Once Lonzo Ball left the team, there was nobody that could actually like distribute the ball in a positive manner. Everyone was taking it upon themselves to go ahead and do that. And so, yeah, sometimes Zach had to bail the team out and put him on his fucking shoulders and hit a bunch of threes in the fourth quarter and try to get them back in the third when they were down 15 already after a slow start in the first, because everyone's trying to figure out how this offense is going to go and who's going to be the alpha. The biggest problem to me was the fact that coaching didn't come in and establish that dominance, that order of dominance, right? To me, what was DeMar DeRozan in year one there should have been some sort of clear understanding that Zach, because we gave him the money, Zach, because of where he's at in his career, he is going to be the alpha on this team, and the offense should run either through Vooch and secondarily through Zach, or through Zach and secondarily through Vooch, and let DeMar be the guy that bails you out with 6-7 seconds left on the shot clock because he's a fucking walking bucket, right? But that didn't happen. Right, that didn't happen. That wasn't established. No one did that. Everybody's like fourth quarter DeMar, like you guys were talking about. So then it created this rift, right? And Lonzo wasn't there to then kind of take that pressure away from everyone. Everyone took it upon themselves to do it themselves, and Zach was a part of that. And yeah, he's he's a young, selfish player who wanted to be the man and who has been the man everywhere he's been, and he couldn't come to grips with whatever was going on with this Bulls organization. But again, I don't think that's his job, right? His job is to score. His job is to be the best player. His job is to be the alpha. That's the job of management. That's the job of the coaching staff. And I feel like maybe they just did do the best job at doing that. And then as a result, we saw the Bulls have this hyper isolated team that couldn't figure shit out until they left. Because what happened when Zach left? Hold on. What happened when Zach left? The order of dominance was very clear, right? It was DeMar's the man. He shoots whenever he wants. Nobody asks questions, right?
Unless Kobe's hot.
Vooch now understands, shit, I can shoot however much I want to, because next time down the court, even if I miss, I don't got to worry about Zach or someone else for that matter wanting to shoot the ball. If I miss, whatever, I'll get it again if I really want it, because I'm Vooch number 2 on this team. And Kobe White understood, if I'm hot, somebody got to get buckets. It just can't be these two guys. And so he was the clear-cut number 3 on the team. So it's just... I don't know if you guys play basketball, but when you play basketball, it's as simple as that. And when you have too many cooks in that kitchen, you need that point guard. That's why Mike Conley's so important on the Minnesota Timberwolves team, because he balances everyone else. That's why the Suns suck, because they didn't have a point guard to distribute the ball accordingly. So a lot of these teams are in the same situation as the Bulls are in. It's just unfortunate that Zach's getting the brunt of it. But again, it goes back to my original statement. Had he just taken ownership of the team, nobody would be feeling this way. They would allow him to have that dominance, but it didn't happen anyway.
But it goes back to my general aspect. Like, we need a general on the floor. There's no general. Everyone's just running ragged. Yep. Everyone's just running ragged, doing whatever.
And your general on the floor is injured for 3 years. And you also have a weak head coach who is not establishing dominance. He was the same way in OKC. You know,
you're putting it on the coach. Why isn't Zach establishing the dominance?
He's hurt.
To me, like, Michael Jordan never had that problem. Michael Jordan said, get the hell out of the way, give me the ball.
Yeah, but the Bulls didn't bring in another superstar to play with Michael Jordan. It was already established that he was that guy. So I don't necessarily agree with that one. But I think when you're talking about his team,
like Zach should have taken charge of the team and said, hey, get out of my way. Like, this is me. Like, to me, like,
when DeMar comes in as the elder statesman of the NBA, it's just like, you guys, we all got jobs, right? Like, when somebody comes, you can't just come in there swinging your D, right? You got to kind of be like, okay, here comes this dude. He's the man. I got to kind of give him respect. And I actually respected Zach LaVine for doing that, for allowing that to happen. Like, hey, bro, I'm going to let you do your thing. That's why I say year 1, I understood that. Zach was being passive. Like, okay, bet. DeMar's a killer. I understand he can do his thing. Bet. Next year, though, I'm the man. And I think that little bridge right there is the part that Zach missed on everything in terms of taking ownership of the team. But I think he wanted to. But again, I think there was nothing that was established. He wanted to be the man. But then it kept on going through DeMar in the fourth. It kept on going through Vooch and other people. And then, of course, like the whole argument that he got into with Billy Donovan not taking the last. Those are the moments that I'm talking about where you got to nurture your players. Like, we got to talk about accountability in the organization in terms of developing these players. You got to develop your superstars too. You got to. Jordan wasn't Jordan until you say like, oh, Phil Jackson had to get a hold of him, get him right, put him in the right places. There's so many moving parts that have to come into that. It's not just on Zach. So I'm spreading accountability around to everyone and not just saying it's him.
But again, like you look at Kobe Bryant, right? All like the last 3-4 years of his career, he did the same thing where he said, I ain't passing it to these guys. They suck. Like they're not showing up to practice and practicing. They want to be on Instagram.
We're not comparing Kobe Bryant to Zach LaVine, are we?
But all I'm saying is there are players that have a mentality that I am that dude. And to me, like what you're kind of saying is Zach missed that opportunity to establish that mentality of I am that dude on this team.
I know if I have a job and something like this is happening,
I'm agreeing.
I'm giving this opportunity. I'd want to leave too. I'd want to leave too. I'd be like, okay, this is if I have a job and they bring in somebody and they don't allow me to then be the boss, right? They're letting this guy be the manager. We've been in this situation before. You bring someone in, you're like, man, I've been here 5 years. What are we doing? Why aren't I the manager? Why are you giving this guy the job?
And
then
now
what do you do?
him?
What do you do? Fuck this place. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go work somewhere else. And that's exactly what just happened. It's just human nature, right? What was going on? So I think they didn't upper management that come in and say, hey, Papa, you've been here. You're a killer. This guy's gonna hold us down for a second, get the ship right, but you're the man. You're gonna be the guy that's gonna take us to the next level. That's the part that they didn't do. So that Zach can't do that himself. Zach don't cut the checks for the Bulls. Zach don't give top-down orders. Zach's a player, right? Shut up and dribble is what they tell him, right?
Oh boy.
I will say this though.
Ooh, I hated that line when she said it. I know who said that line. I know. Wasn't
I'm
it
just
some
one of those
CNN
people.
lady?
If you have that mentality, you don't need to be told by anybody. You're gonna go out there and do it. You don't need management or a coach telling you, "Hey, I paid you $30 million, so you're gonna be the guy now." No, if you got that mentality, you're gonna go out there and do it.
I just will say this real quick. He didn't have any help, and now he has some help. And you know, you're gonna have DeMar, okay, help you out, relieve some of the pressure. Like if you're getting a new job and you have someone come in and help you, I mean, I don't think it's ever a bad thing. If you're taking my job or whatever, I just think you have to have superstars on your team. You got to be able to play with them. And he didn't have anyone when he got here. And then you look at Jimmy Butler, who is that guy who, you know, goes to the Miami Heat, takes it. And yeah, he didn't win, but I mean, his mentality of doing that stuff. And I just think we got the short on the stick on everything with this trade.
I still think this had to go with management, where it's like, all right, you know, we got Zach. Zach got the bag. Zach, you know, you're the future going forward. DeMar is here for a short period of time. DeMar is buckets. Yes, he's a short, you know, mid-range guy. He's gonna get his points no matter what. Zach, we need you to be the playmaker. And just like we talked about Jordan didn't develop and evolve until later in his career, where he's like, I'm getting doubled and triple team. I don't have to take the last shot because there's a guy right here. I have to trust him to make that three-pointer. I have to trust Bill Wennington to take that 10-footer. You have to trust the rest of your players. So if Zach LaVine is driving to the hole, you got to trust that I can dish it out to DeMar DeRozan to get that 10, 15-footer. Boom, that's automatic. There was times last year where Zach almost averaged a triple-double because he was doing everything and not being selfish. He has the ability to do it. The problem is that the coaching is not setting up plays to say, all right, this is Zach's play. This is DeMar's. No, run it through the offense and find out who's open, who has the best shot that gives you the best percentage to score. Because they're not finding who's the alpha male. Then run the offense. Offense.
That's where you're missing Lonzo. Like I said,
this entire buildup fell apart. I was a house of cards without Lonzo.
Yeah. And here we are with the 11th pick. And, you know, we're, like I said, you guys are talking, oh, we're going to lose, you know, Paul. And it's like, well, do we really need a 4 or do we need a 1? Like to me, like, I really feel like we need a point guard. You know, like I know the power forward position, you know, it's been a mess. You know, Lauri Markkanen and all these guys, they move on, and, you know, Bobby Portis and all these guys, you know, they mature after they leave us. But to me, like I said, I just really think we've been missing a point guard since Derrick Rose. And like I said, Lonzo's got one more year left. We've got one pick this year, and then we don't have any picks for, I think, 2 years. So to me, like I just look at it and say, you package Caruso in the 11 and try and get the best point guard you can, or, you know, I don't know.
There's a lot of possibilities, right? We're going to have to talk about that after the NBA finals are done and free agency opens. But Gabe, thank you for coming on and talking Bears and Bulls. Gabe, what are you up to? And then share your social media so they can follow you.
Yeah, man. You know, we got the all the Chicago Fire matches. Got a couple coming up this month, May 29th and June 1st. Nice little Wednesday, Saturday combo, man. If you've never been to a Fire match, I tell people all the time, it's crazy, man, because, you know, you could tailgate. You can start tailgating at 4:30. The matches are at 7:30, so you can get there early. I tell people, the match is cool, right? Since soccer is cool, whatever. But the tailgating and the kicking it experience, they really do a good job of creating pregame activities for the family and everybody. So, man, if you haven't gone out to that, do that. And then, of course, bear season's right around the corner, so going to be getting busy with everybody over there. And then, don't worry, I'll be back on the score June 5th. I'll be on filling in with David Haw. We'll be doing the morning show together again. Just filling in. So yes, I'll be everywhere, bro. I'll be, doing all types of everything. Catch me at Sueños this weekend. We're gonna be with Red Bull. Catch me at Lollapalooza, Hulu. We out here, baby. We doing everything this summer. It's gonna be crazy. Hey man, but thanks for having me out, guys. I always like talking Chicago sports. Even if we disagree, don't hate me. That's the beauty of sports. That's the beauty of sports, right? We get to talk about it. We got our opinions, and then we get to come back and do it again because we love our teams. We love to chat.
We always wind up circling right back to you, Gabe. So you always hear great points. I love it.
All right, gentlemen.
All right,
have a good one, guys. Thanks for having me on, man. Yep, appreciate you, bro. Yep. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Gabe Ramirez, from Fox 32, pregame and postgame for the Chicago Bears. He's the in-game host for the Chicago Fire, and you heard it here first. He'll be back on the score in a couple of weeks, so June 5th. So you heard it here first. Thanks, Gabe, for coming on. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to actually move really quick into Stirring the Pot because we're over time, and I got one for you guys. I already thought one in my head. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15. TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
All right, welcome back to True Chicago Sports Fans podcast with Big Z. We got No Sweat Serg, JC, Dynasty, Fantasy Football, and Stevie-B from the No Water on the Weekend podcast.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it got a little frog in my throat. That's all.
No, I was just saying because, I know the anticipation, the nervousness. How come you don't get that nervous with me? Because I'm also kind of a celebrity.
No, you're not. We've had.
Hey, I did a TED Talk. Okay, I was reminded today that I did a TED Talk, and
was that on toilet seats?
No, it wasn't. Jesus. You know what? I was going to tell this story, and it is not a great story, but you know what? Forget it. It's embarrassing, and I was going to share it and embarrass myself, but we don't have time for that.
The waterless weekends.
Pretty much, yeah. It's been a hell of a weekend. Let me tell you that. Go ahead.
We'll save that for off air. We're running a little long in the tooth here, but
yeah,
boys, it's time for Stirring the Pot. And if you don't know what it is, it's time to stir the pot, man. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wendy's came out with a new product, a new frosty flavor, a creamsicle, orange creamsicle frosty. So, some people like orange creamsicle flavor, the push pop and, the orange creamsicle that comes in good humor and whatever. JC hasn't had a reaction yet. Is this something you'll try from Wendy's?
He's frozen.
No. He's like, no.
Jesus.
That food is frozen.
I'll stick to the regular chocolate frosty. It's not as bad as mango, I guess. I'm not a big mango fan. But like I said, to me, just give me the regular chocolate frosty.
Regular chocolate frosty. You try the vanilla one or the strawberry?
Wait, let's circle back to the mango.
Strawberry I would do. Vanilla, man.
Yeah.
But like I said, to me,
mango?
I was never a big orange person because of pulp anyway. So
you want some
like
pulp.
I want some pulp, not all the pulp. I want some. Yeah.
Sopranos callback. There you go.
very light
And let me
pulp.
throw a phone at you. Oh man. I'm gonna say if it's the same texture as the Frosty, probably not. But because like if
It's
I'm
just
able to
thicker.
throw vodka in there, then that'd be cool. But if it's the same kind of
More
thickness,
of like a slushy or like an icy, maybe.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a Sonic slushy, I do that all the time.
Yeah, but I don't think so because those Frosties are milk based, or
right.
So I don't think
Ooh, yeah. So
I'm just like milk based.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't try it.
that's
No.
not work out. All right, Serge.
First off, I'm lactose intolerant. I ain't trying to join the Steve train on the toilets. So
it's not real milk.
I don't know what the hell is in it, and I don't want it.
How are you lactose? That blows my mind for every Hispanic that is lactose intolerant because most of the stuff is cheese and milk and all that fun stuff.
All the stuff that I've avoided.
Well, whose fault is that?
I would say mine, but the sake of sanity of not going to the toilet every 5 minutes, brother. Sounds good.
It's like
I mean, it was one time for me, okay, and it wasn't even between milk or cheese.
But I will say it's not the Wendy's Frosty thingamajiggy, but my go-to if I were to venture out into Dairyland, it would be the Snickers ice cream bar. And that would be my go-to.
That's
I
way too
can't
much sugar for me.
Yeah,
Way
but
too much.
that would be the go-to, and I barely get it. So, well, I don't get it at all.
Culver's concrete mixer with Snickers and M&M.
That sounds actually pretty good.
That sounds like a diabetic recipe.
That actually sounds good.
Right?
I'll do it. I noticed none of y'all had a drink today.
No.
Yeah, why? How is only me?
I'm on water.
It's supposed to be Margarita Mondays, but I did not.
JC didn't have a drink today, and I know you.
Yeah, no, I had a family event. My brother's birthday was yesterday. Parents' anniversary today. My dad's birthday's tomorrow, so we went out for a nice Italian dinner.
Ciao, come va?
We had an early dinner, so I was able to hop on with you guys and get a few minutes in with you guys. So, but. Yeah, no drink for me tonight. Like I said, I was trying to get back from the restaurant and hop on with you guys.
That's
really sweet. I like that. That's really kind.
I try to be a consistent, guest.
You said consistent.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Shots fired, but I hear you.
Come on,
I'm tired from work. I need to go take a nap, or
Hey man, I drive an hour and a half sometimes.
Or I fell asleep on my cushion seat.
This guy's got like 50 jobs. He's gonna be tired.
It's not enough. I'm still working hard because I can't be living this luxurious lifestyle as you guys.
Jose, I honestly thought Eddie was gonna join. So I was.
Oh, I'm glad he didn't.
I'll be honest. I was out to dinner and then I was like, wait, they're having a guest when I'm not on? How rude.
I was also thinking it was Eddie, and I was like, oh.
No,
that's not a guest.
Gabe, yeah.
He knows I'm messing with him. I'm the younger brother he wish he didn't know. So
yeah,
that is fair.
Yeah. Gabe didn't confirm till like 30 minutes prior to showtime. So.
I like Gabe, and I hope he comes back. And if we do decide,
Gabe is fun. And I try to,
If I fly out there for 200, and you decide to get a destination, bring him on, please.
Yeah. Well, I got to work on that. So, Gabe was fun to have. He's been a guest before. So I went to high school with him. So, cool to know cool people. So,
I should start making more friends.
Shout out to Serge on the new equipment, looking good over there.
I did it, folks. I did it. I grew up.
We got an upgrade.
I know at some point of the show it was getting a little crackly, so you might want to check that.
Christ.
It was better than the old mic. I was utilizing that mic incorrectly the whole time and I didn't realize it. So I had to get rid of it. I was wrong, and I apologize, guys. Right. I heard myself finally, and I was like, man, I sound like shit on the other ones. I had a pre-record and my little 30-second skit that I did on there. I was like, this sounds a hell of a lot better than that other shit I was using. So
microphones make a big difference.
There you go. Boom.
All right, boys, let's wrap it up. It's time to go home. And that's all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Great Clothing Company. Don't forget to go over there to greatclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago. Use our promo code TrueFan15 and check out at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. I'm exhausted. Get your shirts now. Check out the new shows on the 606 Media lineup. It is No Water on the Weekend with Steven Batista and Jesus, I am literally tired. And Sean Daly. They had a pretty cool guest this past week. I don't know when that episode's dropping. Hopefully it's dropping soon.
I have it, but I couldn't log in yesterday because I needed your verification for 6 codes and I couldn't get that from you. So
Sean called me and he got the code, so he shouldn't have been able to download it yesterday.
Well, then he probably has it. Then that's not, yeah. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And don't forget to drop Gabe. Gabe's going to be on June 5th. What was the show?
June 5th? No, it's like June 20th. We got like a month.
Yeah, 25th. He's going to be filling in.
Okay. Oh, June 5th, he'll be back on the score. Yeah, I'll try to get him for our 200th episode as well. You can also check in Podscape with Big Z. There is, I believe, 4 or 5 episodes up there. New episodes should be coming up in a couple weeks. I'm excited about that. I got some new talent that I was able to talk to. So check us out. You can check us out at our socials, Big Z _606 Media Group. We got TCSF Pod on the Twitter. We got JC Dynasty Finance Football. You'll find him on his socials. And you got Straight Function for Steven Batista, and that's where you find us on our socials. You can also find us at True Chicago Sports Fans at gmail.com. You can email us with stirring a pot, sports conversation that you want to argue about. If you got shows or movies that we need to see, hit us up on the line there. And for Serge, Steven, and JC, I am Big Z, and we'll see you next time for episode 196. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.